What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to another episode of the Unfiltered Fit CEO. I'm your host, Coach Breezy, and today I want to just talk about myself. Can I do that? I don't really like to do that too much, but today I want to talk about how I have started and failed so many times. And when it comes to being on your fitness journey, it can be hard to find that discipline and find that focus and stay locked in so much. And I realize that a big part of the problem is we're trying to go too hard. We're trying to be all in and do 75 hard and do this challenge and do that challenge. And we just need to find something that fits with our lifestyle. If you're trying to find something that somebody else is doing because you saw that they had success with it, but it doesn't necessarily fit with your lifestyle and everything that you have going on, say, for example, you have kids and they don't, or you work a 9 to 5 and they don't, or you're a full-time entrepreneur and they actually work a 9 to 5. So their schedule is different. The things that they're doing are different. And not only is their lifestyle different, the actual goals are different. So if your goal is not to be in a bodybuilding competition or to in a powerlifting competition, then the things that you're seeing on social media may not necessarily be for you, because those people are training for something. They are consistently working out and training for something specific. You just want to be healthy. You don't necessarily need to be in the gym 6 days a week. You don't necessarily need to be on a strict diet. You know, there are different things that come into play when you just have different goals, and you just have to reevaluate that. So I just want to talk a little bit about how I have been learning that my locked in is different from the next person's locked in. So when I say locked in, I mean I'm going to be consistent. So by you being consistent, you are just practicing the same disciplines over and over again. Atomic Habits. I've been reading that book, and I've been reading a lot of these like self-help and mindset books, and they really teach you everything relates back to health and wellness. Literally, every single one of these books relates back to health and wellness at some point in the conversation. It goes back to your health and fitness journey and being disciplined about your health and prioritizing your health. And that looks different for everybody. So how are you going to be consistent? Does that look like getting up at the same time every day, following a morning routine? And some people will say morning routines are overrated, but I believe in systems. We are creatures of habits. So I believe in systems. If you don't have a system to start your day properly, then what type of organization or focus do you have for the rest of the day? And I can attest to that every single time that I have tried to just go through the motions and just get up whenever I feel like getting up and just do whatever I feel like doing in the morning and don't really have a plan for what I'm going to do. My day looks like and I feel like because of it.
I feel like
My day looks like because I did not start off properly. So starting consistent, finding a morning routine that works for you. If in the book The Compound Effect, he talks about a specific morning routine, and I'll put the clip or the excerpt somewhere in here, but he talks about a specific routine that he does. Now, that does not mean that that's a specific routine that you need to do, but you need to take bits and pieces from this and from Atomic Habits and from all of these other books and all these other resources and figure out what that looks like for you. Instead of just saying, okay, I'm going to get up at this time. And then what? What is the plan? What is the goal? Everything should be surrounded by the ultimate goal. And that means that our goal is not just about health and wellness. This health and wellness journey should not take over everything that we have going on. The health and wellness journey is supposed to balance in everything else that you have going on. It's supposed to balance and help you build your business. Because when you feel better and you're more confident in your clothes, obviously you're going to make more money. Obviously you're going to be more confident in other rooms. Obviously you're going to just walk around with a different level of respect for yourself, and you're going to demand certain things, and you're going to have a more clear understanding of certain things. All of that derives from you prioritizing your health and wellness. Now, again, that does not mean that you're going to the gym 6 days a week and you're doing all of this and the third. That means that you're prioritizing self-care. That means that you're prioritizing your rest. That means that you're prioritizing and being conscious of the food that you're intaking. It means that you're staying hydrated. It means that you're getting out in the sun. It means that you're doing things that you enjoy. It means that you're not constantly sacrificing the things that you love and the things that you enjoy for somebody else. Oh, I wanted to go to brunch today, but this person wants me to go do this for them. Or I wanted to go for a walk in the park, but this is going on over here, so I'm not going to be able to do that. Making sure that you're prioritizing your self-care. You can't keep sacrificing yourself and the things that you want and things that you deserve for everybody else. As a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as a business professional, you have a habit of putting other people and other things before yourself. And I've seen that time and time again. I've done it time and time again. I've coached clients time and time again that had this conversation with me, and there's always an excuse. And it's a valid excuse. Trust me, I get it. It is a valid excuse. But at the end of the day, what is that valid excuse getting you? You can have the most valid excuse in the world. You can be validated, but does that validation get you your reward? As long as you feel validated, you feel like, okay, it's okay that I didn't work out today. It's okay that this and that and third didn't happen today because I'm validated in my excuse. But if you continue to find that validation, you continue to give yourself all of this leeway and these excuses, how close are we getting to our goals? And I'm talking to myself too. I've given myself so many excuses. I've told myself, oh, I don't really feel like it today. So because I don't feel like it, then, I'm probably not going to have a good workout anyway. So I'm just going to skip today. Or, I don't really have any groceries right now because I had to go do this yesterday and my day was busy this day and I had to do that. So now I don't have the groceries. So now I can't meal prep. So it's okay. I'm going to just go get Chipotle today. Things like that, right? You can come up with any type of excuse. You can have anything going on. You can have the busiest day, but at the end of the day, where is it getting you? It is not validating you. I mean, it's validating you, but it's not helping you progress towards your goals. So how do we find the loophole in our validation? We find the loophole in our validation by actually finding time and planning for it. We're going to have busy days. Of course, we're business owners, we're entrepreneurs. There's things that are going to come up constantly. But if we start our day off right, and if we end our day, the things that happen in between just kind of come together one way or another. If we start our day with intention, I'm going to wake up at this time. So going back to the consistency thing, I'm going to wake up at this time every single day, even Monday through Friday. Saturday and Sunday, maybe I sleep in an extra hour or so. But when I get up, it looks like this. When I get up, I'm doing this, this, and this in this order consistently every single morning. Morning routines are not overrated because they set you up for success. You're setting your intentions. Now, there's a whole other side of it where there's like this in-depth skincare routine and your makeup routine and all of these things that looks like however it looks for you. That's completely your prerogative, but just make sure that it is intentional and in line with your goals. If you're spending an hour in the morning in the mirror and you haven't thought about your goals, you haven't read a book, you haven't listened to a productive podcast, you haven't done any of these things, but you're spending an hour to yourself in the mirror, that's what it looks like. Okay, but just make sure that you're intentional about that. It can look however the you want it to look, as long as it's intentional. I am not the judge of what your morning routine looks like. I am not the judge of what your nighttime routine looks like. You know whether it is productive or intentional or not, though. Me, for example, I know that I've been sleeping in. I know that alarm goes off at 6:30 a.m. every morning, and sometimes I wake up at 7. Sometimes I wake up at 7:30. Sometimes I wake up at 9. And I know for a fact, even though that sleep feels so good in that moment, when I'm waking up at 9 o'clock, I still wake up and feel like because I feel guilty about the things that I didn't do, or, I'm behind on the things that I was supposed to do, and I was supposed to have this done, and by 9 a.m. and now everything is backed up and I've got this, and now I stress myself out over some more sleep that really probably didn't even benefit me that much. Now, some days, yes, there are some days where you do need to take that extra rest and allow your body to fully relax and do all that. But come on now, we know the difference. We're professional enough, we're business owners enough, we're entrepreneurs enough, we've been doing this long enough to know that there's a difference. You can feel the difference. You can sense the difference. Sometimes it's time to tighten the up. Right now, it's probably time to tighten the up. For me, I'm telling myself it's time to tighten the up. And that has to do with my business. That has to do with my nutrition. That has to do with my self-care. That has to do with my exercise. That has to do with everything. Okay, so consistency. What does that consistency look like for you? Figure out a morning routine that is going to work for you. And then on top of that, once you have that intention set for the day, you talked about your goals, you have those 3 priorities for the day, you have whatever it is that you need to accomplish within that morning routine. Now your day is structured around that. Intentionality. There's so many times where I will sit here and I will go through a full morning routine from 6:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. and I have all of these goals and I have all these intentions set, and then my day looks nothing like I planned. But that's in my control. It doesn't not look how I planned because this happened and that happened. I had to be here and I didn't expect to do this and that, this and the third. No, it didn't look like how I planned it because I literally did that and then I went and watched TV, or I went and ate some I had no business eating, or whatever the case may be. I did not stay intentional. I set my intentions in the morning. I did not stay intentional throughout the day. Are you checking off that list? Do you have a goal of things, not a goal, do you have a list of things that you're supposed to do throughout the day? And are you checking that off as you go? Are you doing that? Probably not.
Emotional damage.
And if you're not, okay, snap out of it. Like, we know that that's what we're supposed to be doing. So we set our intentions. We have our morning routine. We're being consistent with that. Now we're going to be more consistent. And then as long as you have that morning routine set, it makes it easier to get those things done throughout the day. It makes it easier, but it still requires intention. Keep in mind, this does not mean that you are being a disciplined, like you're just strict to the T about every single thing that you do, every single thing that you put in your mouth, every single step that you take. That does not mean that you're being super strict about that. That just means that you're being intentional and aware and conscious of these things. If I want to have some wine, I'm going to have some wine. If I want to go co-work and I want to have a burger while I'm out at a co-working location, I'm going to do it. Right? But I know that I'm still being intentional about what I'm doing. There's a difference between being a disciplined and being a conscious, intentional whole. Something like that. I don't know, but there's a difference. Like, you don't have to sit here and be strict and be disciplined and do all of these things and just not go out with friends and not drink any type of alcohol and only drink water. And you don't have to do that. Now, if that's a challenge that you want to put yourself on because you want to test your discipline, by all means, go right ahead. But just know that that's not mandatory and that's not required. And if you do decide to do that, make sure that the end goal is the balance. You can start out super strict. You can start out doing this. If you want to work out 5 days a week for 2 hours, have that be your goal for the first 30 days. You stuck to it for 30 days, boom. Now the next 30 days, I'm going to work out 5 days a week for 1 hour. And then the next 30 days, I'm going to work out 3 days a week for an hour. The ultimate goal is balance, not restriction. The more that you restrict yourself, the harder it's going to be to maintain this process. The more that you restrict yourself, the more that your body and your mind is going to start to hate the process, and it's going to be something that is more damaging than good because you don't enjoy the process anymore. You've made this negative connotation with this process when it should be something that's refueling you and actually helping you along the journey. It should aid into everything else that you have going on, your friendships, your relationships, your business. It should aid into everything and not cause you to isolate yourself and be this strict person that nobody even wants to be around. Okay, that's not necessary. That's not part of the process. So you got your morning routine. You're consistent with that. You know what you're doing. You're setting your intentions for the day. You've got your daily checklist. You're going throughout your day. You're making sure that you're checking off these things. You're being intentional about that. And now you got your wind down. So you're consistent with these things. That nighttime routine, you are reflecting on the day that you had. Did you accomplish the things that you wanted to accomplish? Did you get one step further in your business? Did you get one step further in your relationship? Did you grow and develop some part of you throughout the day? That's all you're doing when you're reflecting at night. Now, some people want to read at night. I'm getting better, but I used to not be able to do that because I would literally just fall asleep. Even if I didn't even feel sleepy before I started reading, I would just fall asleep. But now, because I've been more consistent with my reading, it doesn't really affect me like that anymore. But I'm still not a nighttime reader. I'm a morning reader. I'd rather do it in the morning. But anyway, whatever works for you is what you're going to do. So if you decide to reflect, if you decide to journal, if you decide to read, if you decide to do something, but just make sure that whatever it is something productive. It is something that is allowing your body to unwind and to reset and to come back to balance. We don't want our nighttime routine to be filled with, damn, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, I was lazy today, I did that. You don't want to fill it with negativity. You don't want to fill it with a show. Like, yes, sometimes you can watch TV and kind of wind down that way. I have something playing in the background sometimes, but it's not necessarily that I'm like locked in and watching it all the time. But you just have to figure out something that allows you to fully wind down and just reset. Get a good night's rest so you can start over tomorrow and you can be consistent. That is the word of the day, consistent. Now, there are a couple things that you can do if you have sleep problems. Not everybody needs full 8 hours of sleep. Me personally, I need my 8 hours. I am not one of those. I'm sorry, and more respect and power to any of y'all that can go 4, 5, 6 hours and just have a productive day. I'm not one of those. So I have a strict bedtime and I have a strict bedtime routine in order for me to be successful in my next day. Okay, now again, that looks like whatever it looks like for you. It doesn't have to be my routine. It doesn't have to be this person's routine. It doesn't have to be that, but take bits and pieces from what everybody else has going on that you see is successful and that has the life that you want to live. That's another thing. Stop trying to reflect the people that aren't even living the life that you want to live. And just because you see on social media that they're doing this and the third does not necessarily mean that they're living the life that you want to live. So just actually do your research and really figure out, do your reading and really figure out who is living that life that you want to live and how can you emulate certain things from what they're doing to make sure that you're living that life. I want to take a brief intermission. I want to shout out PhD. PhD has helped me so much on my fitness journey, and me being a long-term fitness person, as a strength coach, as a person that just works out on their own, as a health and fitness coach, as a group fitness instructor, I have never been the one that goes out and buys workout clothes. Never been that type of girl. But when I met PhD, when I met the owner of PhD and I saw the clothes and I saw how they were fitting and I saw how they were doing, and I was like, oh, okay, I want to try that. So I tried it out and I'm in love. I promise you, everything that I wear is PhD now. Lifestyle, workouts, everything. And I have the best workouts. And I'm literally not even I'm exaggerating. Like, I'm being dramatic a little bit, but it's honestly true. I love everything about PhD. The stretch shorts, the sports bras, the flare pants, and I've never been the type of person to put any of this on. Give me some shorts and a t-shirt and I'm good. That's always been me. I'm good. But ever since I started wearing PhD, I'm walking crops, I'm wearing sports bras, I'm wearing the shorts. Make sure that you try out PhD. I have a code Breezy, 20% off. You can try it out. We've got socks, we've got hats, we've got shirts, we've got everything. When I tell you it's PhD or die for me. I'm not gonna lie to you. Can't nobody else get me. I love me some PhD. That's all I got. Jumping back into it. Making sure that you're consistent. Stay consistent and just trust the process. Stop beating yourself up. Stop letting other people take over everything that you have going on. And again, this is talking to myself because I have not been in a space where I am prioritizing myself. I have been in a space where I'm just going through the motions. And when I tell you I'm locked the back in, I don't mean I'm sitting here going to the gym 6 days a week. I mean that I'm staying consistent. I mean that I'm keeping the promises that I made to myself. I mean that I am going to actually find ways to better myself. I'm going to more networking events. I'm going to Toastmasters. I'm going to other events. I'm seeking out other resources. I'm finding the people that are living the life that I want to live and seeing how I can emulate everything that they have going on. Maybe not everything, but seeing how I can emulate the things that they have going on and how I can put that into my life and my business so that I can be successful, so that I can continue to prioritize self-wellness and self-care. Okay. Self-care is a part of every successful person's life.